My husband has been stepping up for my best friend while she's been going through the third trimester of her pregnancy, but her husband, who has been MIA, thinks he's being a jerk for showing him up and wants him to stay away from his wife. I'm writing this post because my best friends, Kate, husband, Bert, called my husband, Tim, a jerk. I have historically kept my opinion of Bert's behavior to a minimum because good friends say their piece once and then love each other through bad relationships. But I'm asking internet strangers to be the judge. I'm traveling for work. Kate is stuck at home, working, at 7 months pregnant and on modified bed rest. Generally, during the week, I drop over once or twice to bring her family some dinner. Tim cooks extra portions once a week to share, cheer her up, and read her oldest a couple of bedtime stories so that mom can go to bed early and get some sleep. Bert works an office job. Stressful, I'm sure, but during her pregnancy, he's been working longer and longer hours, salaried, not overtime. She's been sad and a bit lonely. Yes, I've suggested counseling. With that for background, this evening she and I were texting. It was about 6-ish, and she got a craving for a taco place near my house and, importantly, near Bert's office. She says she asked him to grab her some on his way home. He says he's not stopping. He's got work at home and she should just DoorDash something close. This makes her extremely sad, she says irrationally sad, but you be the judge, because he used to surprise her with her favorite tacos and now he can't be bothered. As one does, I tell Tim. I'm 3 states away, so it was just part of our chat as I was getting back to the hotel and getting ready for a work dinner. I get back from dinner and Tim had gone and picked her up tacos, remembered a bag of things I collected for her and the kid that were in my car, and pulled a tuna casserole from the freezer. Bert hates tuna casserole. He dropped them off on the porch and just texted her that there were some things I wanted her to have. Then Bert gets home. Did he bring tacos, coloring books, or a good attitude? No, he did not. He called Tim to tell him that he was a jerk for showing him up. Other colorful language was also used, including some fairly sexist nonsense. He also texted me telling me to keep my husband away from his wife. Tim did respond rudely when Bert called. Kate says he told Bert he was a failure as a human, a man, a father, and a husband. Apparently that caused Bert to scream expletives so loud their daughter started to cry. Not good. Tim then hung up on Bert, blocked him, and texted Kate that if she needed someone in an emergency she knew where to call, but he wasn't putting up with her shot husband any longer. It's a giant cluster and I have no idea what's going to happen. My husband feels bad things escalated so much, particularly since their daughter was crying. He feels like a jerk at the moment. Obviously Bert thinks he's a jerk. I think he's a sweet man. What do you guys think? Update 1. This update is shared with Kate and Tim's permission. For reasons, Bert can go fudge himself. Bert did email Tim this morning to apologize. Bert said he had forgotten I was out of town and he didn't realize that Tim was dropping off the meal train food. It was a weird email for many reasons, but Tim responded politely if noncommittal. Tim hasn't changed his view of Bert in part because of what happened between Bert and Kate this afternoon. Bert also texted me to apologize, but I didn't get his message until after I landed and by then everything else had happened. I've elected not to respond. Bert went home around noon after staying at a hotel last night. Kate's sister had taken their daughter to the park so Bert and Kate could talk it out. Short version is that Bert has been avoiding Kate because she's not happy during this pregnancy. I mentioned in a comment that Kate had been married previously and shortly after her first husband died she had complications in a pregnancy that forced her on bed rest. Unfortunately, her son didn't make it. Her current pregnancy is bringing up a lot of painful memories and she's scared she won't be able to make it to full term. So, yes. She's not as cheery as she was when she was pregnant with their daughter. It's a difficult time. Bert is frustrated and angry that she's not happy, so he's been staying late and ignoring her until she stops doing that. I know that sounds horrid, but I think they could have worked through those feelings. But as he was explaining how he felt, he said she should be glad her son wasn't there because otherwise she wouldn't have this life at all. Yeah. That still knocks the wind out of me, it's so cruel. She did talk to him about that statement, but the explanation doesn't get better. In any event, for her that was just the end. She told him she was done, they can work out joint custody, but the marriage was over. She called her sister and she and her husband encouraged Bert to leave. Currently, Kate's not angry or sad or panicked. She's just done. Personally, I'm surprised since they've weathered some fairly shoddy things including infidelity, by him. But I guess that was the line? In any event, her D&D friends are over there for Saturday games night and they are eating waffles. She thought it was important for the internet to know that waffles are appropriate separation food. In terms of her well-being, which many kind souls were worried about, they have a prenup. The house is hers, his family property is his. I'm sure there will be a fight over custody, but she will be financially okay. In any event, she has family and friends who will help and support regardless of what happens. Update 2. Holiday update. I guess whether you think this is a happy update depends on whether jerks abandoning their kids is a net positive or not. Kate and Bert are still separated. It took her a few weeks, but she finally spoke to her attorney and asked them to start the paperwork. One problem has been locating him for service and scheduling parenting time so it wouldn't appear that she is withholding his child. The night he was escorted out, he apparently went to a hotel, then told his boss he had to work remotely, where the fudge was that option, and then moved home to his mother. Kate has reached out to him multiple times to schedule parenting time and only found out last week that he wasn't in the state. She finally called his mom to see if she wanted to come and see her grandchild for Thanksgiving and learned that he was there the entire time. In any event, they finally made a parenting schedule and, at her attorney's suggestion, agree he could have a first holiday since the separation. He was supposed to come down on Wednesday and pick up their daughter for a few days so she could spend time with his side of the family. So we planned a Friendsgiving to keep her spirits up since her little one would be away for the first time. Fun? Not fun, but it's what families do. Anyway, he didn't show. Thursday morning, still no Bert. Kate was worried since he was supposed to drive down, so she called his mom again. Bert was fine, but didn't feel up to dealing with this. Yep. Heard it myself with my own 2 ears. Kiddo was thankfully still asleep, so she did have the joy of watching her mom have a complete and utterly meltdown. Kate didn't have the greatest childhood herself, and knowing her boss husband was completely indifferent to his daughter was just too much. She was sobbing so hard she couldn't breathe and then started to have contractions. Then her sister and I started panicking. Had we been thinking clearly, we probably would have remembered that she had BH with both pregnancies and calmly assessed the situation after she wasn't so overwrought. Instead, I panic dialed her OB and we rushed her to the hospital. She's fine. Baby is fine. Kiddo has now more screen time and junk food in 2 days than her mother has let her have in her entire life, because I am not a great babysitter. Kate will be in the hospital for a few more days as her OB is concerned with her stress levels. Her sister's husband called Bert, but thus far he has not made any attempts to do something useful, like I don't know, take care of his own child? So I guess there won't be a fight over custody? A mid-update, but it's been a disappointing weekend. If anyone knows how to cheer up a little girl who is missing her parents that doesn't involve McDonald's and Bluey, please let me know. If there were still Toys R Us, I'd probably be bankrupt. Update 3. Thank you all for the suggestions, particularly one for shaking my brain loose. I had a sewing room full of supplies and hadn't even thought of crafts. We spent all day today designing and making doll clothes and matching scrunchies for her, her mom, her aunt, uncle, cousin, etc. She's happy and tired, and I couldn't be more grateful for internet strangers. On the less good news, Kate is going to be in the hospital for the duration. She and the baby are fine, but due to some complications they want her to stay there until she delivers. Kiddo is staying with us until tomorrow. We live close to the hospital, but she'll be heading back to sister's place, which is close to her preschool, tomorrow night. Kate wants her to have as much normalcy as feasible. I'm still worried, but the doctors are great and seem to have it under control. Update 4. It's a boy. I don't know if anyone still cares, but Kate safely delivered a perfectly healthy little boy on Thursday and is now back home. Her sister's was by her side and it all went fairly quickly after she was induced. Bert is still MIA. Last we heard he was in Alaska with his brother. Kate's lawyer has been managing communications to keep the evidence trail as pristine as possible. He has been served, but of course these things take time. The little one asks about her dad every single day and it breaks my heart, but I guess there's no help for that. We are following the therapist's advice, and legal advice, on that subject. I think it will get easier now her mom is finally home. On the home front, Kate is thrilled to be out of the hospital. We have all huddled up for a plan to help her over the next few months while she recovers. I'm on duty today, but everyone is currently napping so it's quiet and peaceful. She asked for tacos, so Tim is making a taco run for lunch in an hour or so. I probably won't update again, but I did want folks to know she and her son made it through with flying colors. Update 5. Sad update. Bert came back. Kate and Bert reconciled. For the health of her family, she is stepping away from me and her sister and several other friends. I was hoping it was just temporary, but it's been a month since we spoke to her. Not much more to say really. I hope if she needs support she knows she can call with no judgment. Commenter. Not the update I was hoping for. Her self-esteem must really be in the gutter. But at least it's not your problem anymore. Commenter 2. Oof. Translation. She's been isolated from her support network.